Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this, your Capricorn May 2023 reading and forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel Saint James, clairvoyant, and I've done a number of one-on-one clairvoyant readings for Capricorns over the course of the last month, and you know who you are. It'd be great to get to know you personally, and if you might be interested in having a one-on-one clairvoyant reading with me from anywhere in the world, just check out the information that's in the description box below. Now, of course, I charge for clairvoyant readings. I have to. But what I don't charge for, and this is a free lunch, is healing. When I was born, I had the gift of clairvoyance, and I was also given the gift of healing, which comes through me, not from me. But it comes through on the basis that I receive no benefit from it myself. And so it is offered to you absolutely free without any obligation, and I don't recommend or try to sell any products or services, whether from me or anybody else. So if you would like to take advantage of that, then just check out the information that's in the description box below. Now what we're going to do is take 5 cards, because as the subscribers know, and so good to see the subscribers. Do you know, I see you as being part of my extended family. Truly I do. And I love to see you each month. It's great to see you. And as you know, there are no video advertisements breaking their way into this content, so there's no commercial intrusion on the experience that you have. And you also know that we only need 5 cards, because they speak volumes to us, don't they? And so let's get them underway now and see what there is for you. There is the 4 of Cups, or something down here. The Lovers, plural of course, naturally. Let's see, there is the 5 of Wands. Good, I like to see that card. It's usually a good card, it's good for you. There is the King of Swords. Now, what's interesting about this King of Swords is it actually shows a lady, and, well, there's nothing wrong with that. Now, finally, we want one more, don't we? So let's see what there is. And it is this, the 8 of Cups. Well, as is our usual practice, why don't you come now? Sit down here next to me. We'll have a good close look at the imagery on these cards together while I do the reading for you. Well, why don't we look at this lovely lady King of Swords first. I love to see women depicted in tarot. I love women generally, and I am powerless when it comes to women. Such is life. Now, instead of a sword, the female King of Swords is holding a large needle up into the sky. This needle is so sharp that the king can pluck the shining stars from the universe and sew them onto her sparkling dress. Now, the king's crown demonstrates that she possesses stellar gifts of intellectual power and mental clarity. She has the authority that compels people to listen to her, and she can see the truth in all matters. And the stars above symbolize the infinite knowledge that exists in the universe. Now, I have the thought here that Aquarius and Pisces are going to be important to you during this period, or in your thoughts. Now, you will have, though, active and dynamic thought. There'll be an energetic and creative thinking with you. You'll be very perceptive and actually quite analytical, really. Now, I see you being forthright in how you deal with people, and you'll be quite methodical and imaginative and very versatile in how you go about things. I will say this, you'll be able to get across ideas in a very stimulating and simple fashion, so you'll be very articulate, I think. Conversation is going to be paramount to you at this time. You'll be able to solve problems, and you'll be thinking very impartially, I think, but there's with you here an ambition. Now, this is speaking, I think, also to you of your great intellect, which is being energized at this time. You'll be rational in your thinking and a tremendous power of logic and strategic problem solving. You will be clever skillful, shrewd, and actually quite subtle in how you go about things. But as I say, there's this versatility with you that I'm seeing here. You'll have the versatility to see all the aspects of a situation or an issue, and you'll use your keen, creative mental ability to see all of the parts that go to make up the whole. Now, by being impartial to only one truth or viewpoint, you'll use your objective thought to cut to the heart of any issue. You'll be a master at debate, and you'll be able to follow arguments and logic through to reach a sensible conclusion. Very strong intellectual powers. Your sharp mind will recognize no one truth as a fact, I don't think, but you will continually refine your ideas by a sort of mental experimentation until you reach a conclusion which is satisfactory to you. Now, you'll be able to change directions rapidly and develop ideas, rejecting others and getting rid of any contradictions in things here. You'll find the solution by cutting through the fog of confusion. Your keen insight and judgment will mean that you will be concerned about truth and justice as well here, I think. You'll be ethical, ambitious, determined, and goal-oriented, and forge ahead with your plans and realize your brilliant ideas. Now, on the same horizontal line as that is this card, which is getting beaten up by everything around here, and it is in a way moving out of your radar. It's going off the radar for you, but obviously it's something that's here. Let's have a look at it, shall we? It's getting smashed by that and smashed by that, esoterically. See what there is in store, shall we? And what have we got here in this picture? Of course, these paintings, I'm interpreting them one way. You obviously can interpret them any way you want. But I see a woman wearing the skirt of a ladybug with, now this is the 8 of Cups, and it's got 8 dots on it there. And she's looking at 8 surrounding forms of life, which are in pairs. So there's 4 pairs, 4 twos are 8, and there's 2 swans, 2 dragonflies, 2 butterflies, and there you see there 2 little birds that are there. Anyway, I think that she's looking here almost quite dejectedly at maybe what's going on with her emotions. But I don't think there's anything bad going on, really. Now, I guess I'm getting that feeling of dejectedness or something emotionally because the astrology of this card, sitting where it is, beneath the lovers, opposite this king and touching onto the 5, well, that is Saturn in Pisces. And Pisces is a feminine sign. It's quite spiritual, it's quite emotional, isn't it? And Saturn ordinarily is something that is seen by many people as being cold, restrictive, oppressive. But in your case, it's not a problem because Saturn is your ruling planet. And I also see, I'm getting the feeling of Saturn there as well, in Saturn and Leo there, but let's deal with this first. So this is Saturn in Pisces that's coming along here. But I think what you're going through a process is of letting go and moving on. There's an abandonment of things which are no longer serving you because you are searching for true fulfillment. Now, there may well have been some sort of a crisis that has led to a view that you need to renew yourself. There's an inner journeying that's going on here with you, maybe a change of plans. This is about you moving away from a hopeless situation. I think it begins the beginning. I think it represents the beginnings of the destruction of a stagnant situation. This could be characterized by a descent into your inner being, where there is a time of reflection and journeying into the depths of your own emotions, which are symbolized by the water here. Now, maybe you begin a spell of inactivity or seclusion in order to process your feelings and maybe heal from a difficult emotional issue. But what we have here is a time of letting go of past hurts and moving on in a new direction. The situation has become hopeless, and you must either reinvigorate it or move away so that you don't get caught in stagnation. These are here to tell you how to live a happy life. This is telling you to, and is a call for you to believe in yourself and in your own personal qualities. You must set aside, perhaps rise above a suffocating situation and realign yourself on your own path. I think this talks about a time of looking for answers at a point when your progress has halted. Perhaps you were feeling constricted or suffocated by a person or by a situation, maybe one that has dominated your thoughts or your emotions. Well, this is also about abandonment, either of a congested, that is a stuck issue, or a circumstance, or a dilemma, or a past pattern of behavior. This is an inevitable ending. It's part of the soul journey that you have come here to work on. It's time to realize that the past is gone. A chapter has ended, and what was once true is no longer. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean a separation, but what it does mean, I think, is that things have reached a state where the old needs to be wiped away and replaced by the new. It can mean moving home also, incidentally. So examine your life, because some misty vapors have made your way unclear, and you are in need of some clarity. Now, it might be that someone or something has been draining your emotional energies, or that you have been wasting your effort, wasting your time on someone or something that is just not responding. You may feel that you have been sucked dry of your reserves of power. Perhaps someone has been bleeding your energy for their own gain. Well, now is the time for you to reclaim your power. Consider yourself and no longer allow others to use deceit or emotional lies or blackmail to control you. Now, whether it is a person or a situation, this energy is saying that maybe you were distracted by fantasy or illusion. Don't give the situation oxygen. Don't allow it to drain your resources, whether emotionally, financially, or drain your time or health. Well, let's have a look at this other card, actually. Now, this is actually here to tell you something, I think, rather than actually be a predictor. Well, it is a predictor. It's sort of saying that, listen, there's things you need to think about. I think that's in here. Let's look at the painting first and see what there is. Well, there is a woman, and she faces 5 players while engaging in a chess match. Now, her skirt is patterned like a chessboard, and the other figures on the game are moving toward her. Each has a strong opinion and a different strategy, and they are all trying to win. Now, with so much opposition and conflicting efforts, the woman is struggling to find the right move. Competition, of course, can spark excitement, but it can also be a distraction where everyone is at cross purposes. Yes, well, I'm looking at the astrology of this, and it is Saturn in Leo. Well, look, Saturn and Leo don't actually get on, because Saturn, again, look, in some respect, Saturn can dampen the creativity of Leo, rather, but
your planet is Saturn. And this is speaking of some sort of a competition here. And what you have in your sign is that you have Saturn controlling you, which is about moving things forward. And you have exalted in your sign the planet of Mars. So Mars comes into Capricorn, and Saturn treats Mars as an honored guest. And they work together to make sure that your life goes ahead orderly and that you are protected. So I see around here with you some challenges and competition, a great degree of self-determination and ambition again, but confidence with you. There is, it's almost like there's a purification through fire going on here. There's great bursts of creative energy. Now, there are some conflicts around, but you are going to overcome them. And in fact, you are going to get better as a result of the conflict, which could just be competition. It could be someone, now you could be in a sales environment, or it could be someone who has the same resume that you do. It could be someone who has the same sort of looks that you do, and you are competing with that person. But you will be breaking through resistance. This is representing challenges and competition. And there are competitive elements around you at the moment. Now, you could be involved, as I say, in a contest of some description. There's somebody that could be opposing you or challenging you. Now, that is a competitor. That's someone who wants what you want. And it's a question of, well, if you haven't faced the fire of competition before, you now will do, and you'll know what it requires. But the fire of competition will be on your side because you have the fiery planet of Mars exalted in your sign of Capricorn and working with that huge, strong planet of Saturn, which guards you. Now, there could also be some blockages or obstacles within yourself that need to be dealt with in order for your energies to be released, because wands here represent your personal spirit, your desires, and your creativity. Now, by meeting challenges that are presented to you, you will learn your own strengths and your weaknesses, of course. Play to your strengths always. You are going to become stronger in your resolve and more sure of your beliefs. There are some new skills which are going to be picked up. You're going to hone those things that you're good at, and you will overcome any challenge that comes to you in the situation. You see, each trial has its own unique prize, and so it contains that prize within itself. And really, the prize is in you, really. Sometimes, of course, when people are in a competitive situation or where there is an obstacle to be overcome, they become frightened about things. Well, this is a time when you will use your creative imagination that will help you accept the challenges of life and transform them into knowledge and power, deep, dark, poetic, and beautiful. And the gradual defeat of your fear is going to set free all the creative energies which have been bound up with any struggles that you have dealt with in the past. You're letting these things go. That's what's happening here. Now, you saw this card telling you, you now are becoming strong. You now are becoming invincible. You now are becoming the Capricorn that you were born to be. Now, this is also saying to you that clearly you must learn from past mistakes and use new approaches, but always deal with the situation with a calm resolve. Patience and perseverance are needed to accomplish your endeavors. Now, I'm not talking here about anything which is a major obstacle. This can relate to a series of minor frustrations sometimes. Frustrations. I think this energy definitely, though, stands for competition, whether in your work life or personal dealings, or in your internal thoughts when weighing up issues or opposing ideas. In each case, this competition is about refinement and is ultimately for your growth, happiness and success. But I think you'll come out of that type of activity pretty chill and relaxed, I think. Let's have a look at this card here. And what is going on? Let's have a look at it, shall we? Quite unusual. Very interesting art to this. Here is the Four of Cups, while there is a girl resting with her arms crossed under a tree. She's taking some time for herself. The unpleasant rainy weather reflects the girl's heavy thoughts. She is so preoccupied with her thoughts, she doesn't care about the duck offering an umbrella to protect her from getting wet. Now, if I may say, if a duck were to present me with an umbrella, I would take notice. But there is 4 colours on that umbrella. I think the colours symbolise the different perspectives and attitudes you can choose in life to change a situation. Now, the astrology of this card is that of the moon in Cancer, which is fantastic because in ordinary astrology, the moon is domiciled the moon is most at home in Cancer. The moon deals with things like luxury, emotional stability, emotional contentment. It's very nurturing, the moon, and though it can be destructive at times, but it is not in this case. And what it is doing here, it is coming into Cancer, which is the most receptive of signs. So I see what we have here is an emotional richness with you, a sense of comfort or luxury. There is, I think, the time when you might indulge yourself and be quite extravagant. Definitely this is, and through this month, this is the first card that you drew, of course, and a sustained period of happiness. These are the things that needed to be spoken of, I think. And what we see here is an emotional strength and balance and individuality, and certainly where you are and have restored your emotional security. There's a very protective veil going on around here. This does speak to me of luxury and contentment. Now, because the Suit of Cups is concerned with feelings, I think this energy refers mainly to an emotional luxury that can include pleasures gained from spending money. Now, you have reached, I think, a stable, comfortable point in a situation, maybe after a competition or in life. Now, your emotional strength or that of others is the key in understanding your present situation. This speaks to me of balance and bringing feelings which are pleasurable, secure, and there's a great degree of sensuality around here as well. Look, it's inescapable that people are going to find you very attractive at this time. I think you have been fulfilled and might be enjoying a period of indulgence. Now, it's good for you to enjoy the pleasure of the moment and to gain the nourishment of indulgence and revel in extravagance. Don't bet the house or don't spend all the rent money, next month's rent money on something. But if you become too satisfied or comfortable, then you could get and become in danger of losing your drive and sinking into, a kind of I don't care or just hanging around and doing nothing. I think that's all I want to say about that. Then we come to the Lovers, but sadly we don't have a lot of time to spend on the Lovers. Let's see what's going on with the card. Nevertheless, I think it's pretty favourable for you. Well, I'll go further. It is favourable for you, but I'll just touch briefly on some of the things. Let's look at it here. Now, the card shows a couple who are deeply in love. Mutual attraction has brought them together. Well, it brings everyone together like that, doesn't it, first? And then you, like they, have made a choice which has kept them united. Now, the male is half bird and the woman wears a dress with blue feathers that match his. Our birds and feathers here represent freedom of feelings and expansive happiness and emotions. And like birds, the lovers can fly high into the sky with no borders limiting their love. They are very much connected and committed to each other, giving each other mutual support. I think that this is really about being open to forming a union or partnership out of affection and shared views. Now, the bursts of energy that are coming up to me for you from this are about you establishing bonds with people or with a particular person. Now, there could well be a marriage or a moving in. There's a commitment here that's going on. Or there is a connection with someone through mutual understanding. Look, it's inescapable. There's a great attraction and passion and sexuality around here. Physical attraction and maybe re-establishing lost unity and oneness. Some choices to be made. You are making a decision about something. Now, I think what this is saying is that for you, it means that two opposing forces need to be reconciled. Now, this can relate to a relationship or apply on a personal level. There may be a split in duality or a decision to be made, as I say, making a clear choice or judgment, a decision point where you must choose between opposing choices and commit to the path. That's the energy that's coming up to me here. Now, often a decision must be made so that you know where you stand. I think this energy is about inner completeness and reconciling with your spiritual source and overcoming your fears and loving yourself. Now, inescapably, this can also energy express your personal sexuality. Sexual love is a way by which you can detach from your egocentric awareness. Open up your being and blend with that which is outside of you physically. It may be that you are soon to gain a wider perspective on reality, realizing that some of your own perceptions are merely a projection of what you expect rather than what is there. And this can indicate also that you have met or soon will meet with a person, a project, or a challenge that you will fall in love with. You will instinctively know that you desire this thing or person because of the excitement that it inspires, even if that means veering off from your current path. Well, what a fantastic spread of cards for you. Well done, you. I trust you enjoyed that as much as I did providing it to you. I certainly enjoyed providing that reading to you. I always do, though, don't I? I love to see you, and thank you for having me in your home. I really do appreciate it, and I appreciate the confidence that you place in me and the warmth which you show to me. Now, I'm not going to see you again probably unless you contact me for a reading or for a healing until next month. But until then, remember one thing and one thing only, and it is this, that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you again next month. And until then, it's bye for now.